Hello shooters, thanks for watching. Today's installment of TI Goes to School is carry guns, revolvers or semi-automatics. What are the pros and cons of each? Because they each have pros and cons. Neither one of them is perfect. Neither one of them is, oh, it's horrible. They each have their strong suits. They each have their weak sides. So let's explore that. I teach the Utah Concealed Pistol License course, and in every class it comes up. Hey, what do you like? Do you like the revolver? Do you like the semi-auto? So that's the purpose of this video here, is to explain my thoughts and my opinions on small semi-autos versus small revolvers. So let's start the tabletop review. Okay, in our battle of small concealable handguns, we've got our Ruger, and we've got our Smith & Wesson Shield. This is a little bit different than how we do things in man versus gun, because we're going to weigh, these guns are fully loaded, ready to rock. You can see we're good to go there. Here's a full reload. We're going to weigh the gun plus a full reload. So the Ruger LCP is 1.6 ounces. That includes a full gun plus a reload, 1.6 ounces. With our Shield, now this does have a light and laser on it, but that's how I carry it. We are 2 pounds exactly. So in the weight department, for the lightweight, the Ruger LCP definitely wins there. No doubt about it. It's, to put that in perspective, let's look at this. We've got 10 rounds here, and over here we've got 16 rounds. So we got 16 rounds on tap with a light laser combo. Over here we got 10 rounds. So you have to take that into consideration. Width-wise, the LCP is 1.28 wide. The Shield is going to come in quite a bit thinner. It's going to be less than an inch. We're looking at 9.90 on the width. So this definitely takes the cake when we're talking about being flat and concealable. This is going to be a little bit harder to conceal because of the cylinder, and the grip is wider down here too. The grip is 1.24. So this is just a wider gun. It is lighter. This is a thinner gun. This is heavier. Now I'm going to unload them, and we'll talk about a couple other things. Okay, so let's talk about loading. Let's talk about reloads here. Reloading the gun. For one, when you get a Ruger, you have to buy an aftermarket reloader thing like this. This is the only one I've found that works good with these Ruger LCPs. The ones that are completely round, they get hung up on the grip here. So this, with those chamfered things there, it works easier and faster with these than the ones that are completely round. And reloading a revolver, there's a couple things I don't like about reloading the revolver. For one, you've got 5 wiggly things. They got to get in 5 separate holes. You got to line those wiggly things, which is the bullets, with those holes. And if you're off a little bit, you got to kind of wiggle it around and get it to fit in. Another thing is you have to be holding it down, because you got to let gravity help you. You can't be loading the gun up here like this. So you can't hold this thing up by your head, like we do with a semi-auto. This has got to be down by, below your line of sight. It's real easy to get lost in the gun when you're reloading a revolver. It's just harder to reload, slower to reload than it is this. This, you can bring it back, you can keep it up by your face. You have one rectangular kind of shape that fits into a little bit larger rectangular shape. You're not trying to fit 5 wiggly things in there. There's no question reloading a semi-auto is faster than reloading a revolver. Just hands down, no question about it. So let's take our ammunition away. Okay, we have no ammunition here. This sucker's empty here, and this thing is empty here. Let's talk about trigger pull. This Ruger LCP has a fantastic trigger pull for a double action revolver. It doesn't stack. Ruger did just a really good job of engineering this trigger, but I mean, look at how far I got to pull the trigger for the gun to work. And then the reset is just as far as you got to let the trigger out all the way. With the Smith & Wesson Shield or any small automatic, you have a really easy take up. then you hit the wall, and then the gun goes, and the reset is short. So with me on the range now, I am not Jerry Michalek, all right? Jerry Michalek can run a revolver faster than I can run a semi-auto, so I'm just going from me. I do have a little bit of experience with both, but I am not Jerry Michalek. I am twice as slow on target with follow-up shots with the revolver as I am the semi-auto. Let's go to the range and see that right now. Okay, the speed loader for the revolver is kept in my right front pocket. When you shoot hot loads out of these little revolvers, you got to fish the rounds out typically. And it's not always the fastest thing to get those 5 rounds into the cylinder. And my shot-to-shot time is a lot slower, as you can see. This magazine is kept in my left pocket in a magazine clip thing. It works really well, but sometimes I got to strip it off. Absolutely no surprise to me on that one. The semi-auto is much faster to run. At much, the split times were half what they were on this revolver. Now, if you're Jerry Michalek, yeah, you can, you can get split times with a revolver as fast as I can an auto. But there's not many Jerry Michaleks in the world. I'm definitely not a Jerry Michalek. I can shoot this twice as fast as I can shoot this accurately. And I can reload this a lot faster than I can reload this accurately, because just the way you got to do it. This is one magazine, one box going into a little bit larger box. This, you got 5 holes. Trying to line up with five things to get in those 5 holes is just going to be slower. So that point goes to the automatic, and this one doesn't get any points in that round. Okay, there's pros and cons on the tabletop review, but let's talk about practical sense of what you can expect these handguns to do in a life or death situation. One of those real pros of a small revolver like this, a hammerless revolver, this doesn't apply for revolvers that have exposed hammers, but a revolver that has an enclosed hammer like this, is you can shoot this through a pocket. And we'll do this at the range here in just a few seconds. And you can continue to fire more than one shot through the pocket, because there's really no moving parts in this. If you have a really loose material in your pocket, like a bunch of loose silk, I guess it conceivably could get stuck in the cylinder there when it's rotating, but the odds of that are just really, 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 really remote. On the other hand, if you try and shoot a small semi-auto through a pocket, there's a number of things that can go wrong. For one, the slide has to reciprocate. It has to go back and forth for it to work. Anything that impedes that slide coming backwards is going to cause a malfunction. So if it stops the slide coming back, you got a malfunction. If the slide is able to come all the way back, crap has to come out of the ejection port. If your pocket is stopping crap from coming out of the ejection port, you're going to have a malfunction. But let's say that nothing impeded the slide and crap was able to get out of the ejection port. When it's coming back, if you got clothing or cloth or whatever to get stuck between the barrel and the slide right there, you're gonna have a malfunction. So you can really only trust this to shoot once through your pocket, and then you've got to plan on having a malfunction. So shooting from a pocket, revolver takes it hands down. But let's actually go out to the range and explore that. Through the pocket. And obviously it'll crank out 5 more rounds. Smith & Wesson Shield through the pocket. Well, kind of surprised that the Shield was able to fire all the rounds I tried. It never malfunctioned shooting through a pocket. But having said that, I will not try and shoot my Shield through a pocket. There's just too many things that can go wrong, too many parts that have to move on a Shield or any semi-auto, a small Glock or whatever. Too many. The slide's got to come back all the way, crap's got to come out of the ejection port, and the slide's got to go forward all the way. That's just asking too much if you're shooting out of a pocket. Murphy's Law is that it worked for me on the video, but don't trust it, gents. Don't trust it. So revolver takes that hands down. Okay, shooters, final thoughts. I like the Smith & Wesson Shield for carry purposes. I carry it a ton more than I do this Ruger LCR. However, if you're a wheel guy and you just love wheel guns, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, this is a great, great, great gun for concealed carry. If you're new to the handgun market, just understand the pros and cons. If somebody's trying to push you towards a revolver, resist it. I'm not saying go for the semi-auto. I'm saying just look at the facts, make up your own mind on what, based upon what you perceive your needs to be, on which handgun's going to serve you the most. There's some people in some of my classes that are in the autumn part of their life. They're a little bit older. They just cannot manipulate a slide on a gun like a Shield. And for those instances, a revolver is a great choice. They don't have to manipulate a slide. They just got to be able to open up the revolver gate with their thumb, load it up, and they're good to go. So older people, there's some women that have upper body strength. There's some even people that, you know, through injury or through, you know, they're maybe born with some upper body challenges. They don't have the strength. Revolver is a great way to go. Don't feel undergunned if you have a revolver. Just train to reload it as quickly as you can. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the shares, likes, and subscribes. Any questions or comments, please post them below. I'll do my best to answer them. Ensure that your training and your practice is preparing you for the real world, your real world, and not for the fantasy land of the shooting range. And as always, have a great day.